I operate a vintage and collectibles store, so I collect everything that you would possibly find in the back corner of your grandmother's basement. It's your first time here, it's nice to meet you. This is also my first test of a type of content I used to do on my other platform, Marching into Madness. I am very excited to get back to this, so if it's not your first time, thanks for sticking around. I know I've been talking a lot of trash that I'm going to get this done, so here I am, finally, you know what I mean? I buy and sell collectibles as well as vintage. I've got a chair here that's in my way, and I operate an eBay store called Grandma's Dead Stock. It is literally supported by my grandmother, which is really fun. She helps me find the more antique-y things. She's got a very kitschy taste. Her name's Fran, and she's the most eclectic, wonderful person you'll ever meet. So it's I'm blessed to have her support, because then on top of having really cool sealed video games and plushie toys and stuff that like already does well on the internet, I also have access to like really goofy old gag gifts. I gotta sort through some pinbacks later, so those are gonna be a mix of like everything from Avengers to like Alberta nationalism for Canada. So whether you're watching this on Facebook or Twitch or any of the platforms, I am going to be simulcasting. Something that's really awesome, too, that I think I want to sneak into the end of the stream, I've got a record player over here, and I've figured out how to wire it in a way that I think I can, like, Bluetooth it to the computer, so I can, like, have the added interactive element of, like, going through my record pile and finding new ones that I like, and use that as DMCA free music, you know, because weird dollar bin ones. But so, good time to be popping in if you're just popping in now. I'm about to give the spiel so that I can cut my VOD. And don't worry, I don't go all cheesy streamer extra loud. This is all about keeping my energy the same. So, welcome. What I do here is I operate a vintage and collectibles store, so I collect everything that you would possibly find in the back corner of your grandmother's basement. So this business, I've called it Grandma's Dead Stock. My grandmother actually helps me pick some of the items, and then I also apply all the modern knowledge that I got. I've been a little bit of a video game nerd for a few years, so I have quite the good knowledge of how to pick out good sealed, like DVDs, sci-fi. You'll see some of that in the inventory that we have today. But what we do here, as you can see, I've got a nice little studio under here where you can see my fingies. I document the items. Today I only have got about 8 or 10, so I'll show you and walk you through how I photograph all of them with my... It's prosumer. It is still a mirrorless DSLR. It could be better, though. I'll walk you through how I shoot it, and then once I get all the photos of all the items we're doing for the day, we flip over to this other screen, other way, that you can see here, which is my eBay storefront, and I walk you through the back end, and we have a fun little time as if it's an antique roadshow, and I look up the item prices, we hang out, so it's a little bit normal antique roadshow with a modern spin, you know? I figured this is already stuff that I like to do, that I already have to do for work, so put me on as your second screen content. I don't even care if you're active in the chat. Just hang out as I pick through these items, and if something catches your interest, like they're going to be listed in the eBay store or a physical storefront that I've actually secured in Toronto, Ontario. It's at like 306 College, top of Kensington Market, so I'm stoked to fill that up, and you might see some antiques or interesting ones that I'm working on here, and then I realize they don't do so well online, then I could be putting them in the in-person location. In the future, now that I have this, I may literally go from finishing this and pop it over to the store, so if you wanted to see me, that's a good way to connect. Otherwise, babbling done, okay? Alright, we're doing the internet's thing now. And so what I got for you today, I got an interesting spread. It's good indication of where I'm at. Right now, we'll start with the lens, and I'll babble through it. I'm going to switch to the other scene, and then lower my camera. The jazz is killing it right now, though. Can't beat it. So what we do is we slide down here. Yeah, all my scenes are working. Look at this, look at this. I need chatbots. Then ideally this is the other thing that's lacking. I should create a note board. Let's write this down. Yeah, we're gonna be eccentric on stream. I'm gonna make sure I can remember what I need to upgrade. Stream. Done. Alright. So, I might show you the back end here sometime, but I've literally got everything stacked on top of itself. I formerly had a photography studio and videography studio, but I live in Toronto, man, so I had very affordable rent, but paying for an apartment and a studio when I'm self-employed, I was losing money. So it's a bit of a gamble, but it's kind of like that business choice that I made to try to hold on to the studio before, since I'm shifting to this focus, as it were, and doing this interesting hustle that I do. It's kind of like a one-for-one trade-off. I lost the space to create, but I became more innovative, and then through that challenge, I now have like an interesting opportunity to document these items and possibly interact with people in person much easier. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead. So I got another webcam down here. It's a 4K webcam, Logitech 4K. It's still got some camera shake because, bro, I'm not balling. I know what to get, but we gotta start somewhere. So, the camera that I use a Fujifilm X-A7. I use the kit lens for this just because it's easier in terms of versatility of light condition, and I usually shoot with prime lenses, which means you can't like zoom in or out. And when you can't zoom in or out that way, sometimes it's like, not only am I making this webcam footage bad, it ends up distorting the item. If I'm documenting like a small miniature, it can make it look bigger than it is, and it ends up just wasting my time. So using the kit lens when it's going on eBay, bro, like having a photo taken with this already stands out, so I don't need to make it harder on myself. You know what I mean? It's all about balance, especially when I'm trying to figure out how to do it at an efficient pace so someone else can pick it up, right? So, the product that we have here, it's a Makinon lens. I did look it up briefly before, but I forget what type of camera it goes on. I think it's an old Nikon. These guys don't typically sell for like a lot, and they sit around for sometimes almost up to a year. But the thing is, I mean, a camera lens doesn't take up too much space in terms of inventory storage, so it's an acceptable choice in that way. But it's only purchased, it's one of those things where you look at that market and you're like, oh, this product should retain value and it would be a good idea to get into collecting them. But the thing is, only people who are savvy to what that item is are going to be your customer base. I know there are fancy economic terms for this that I'm lacking on, but you're kind of giving yourself a smaller buying demographic. So I try to make sure that I'm at least turning minimum $30 profit on it, because then my hourly work on listing it and sourcing it is effective. Look at that. Look, come on, big words, fam, big words. So, when I'm photographing it, my main goal is just to make sure that there's no camera shake, so the object is completely in focus. And I like to have it have a really natural color balance to it, because everything you see on listings on Amazon and eBay have that white backdrop or are shot on a white backdrop, so they're very like harsh on the eyes. So I don't try to make it like exceptionally artsy fartsy, but at the same time the little added touch just to make it look like something you'd see in your grandmother's basement, hence the whole branding, I think has been quite an effective touch. On top of that, considering the branding, my appearance, all that, it's like helps legitimize the products, I would say. Because anyone could take an iPhone shot, the little added touch this way. It's kind of just so I can be lazy on editing, honestly. It looks better coming out of this raw than if I were to even like take a camera phone shot and then have to tweak them all. I don't mind doing this added step, and this way I can show you guys the item. This red chair in the background, it's how I stabilize all of my items. It's been infamous from the first iteration of the show because it's the only stand I ever use. I like it. I've got no problem with it. But the thing is, it's like, I have no idea what it's from. So if I broke it or lost it, I'm gonna have to like 3D print a copy based off of all the images in the stream. But it's like perfect because of how bright red it is and ugly, for lack of a better word. It's like pretty damn obvious that it's not the item that we're documenting, you know? This weird red table, if it's in a camera lens thing, you can tell it's not for sale with it. I have not had a single error with that with a customer yet. The back side of the lens is always the hardest part because the light refracts off of that core piece right there. So the part that I miss that I used to like to do with these tables is the whole reason I've got the measuring thing at the bottom is I used to do a top-down shot. So I'm going to try to see if I can emulate it in some way, but I don't think this lens can pull it off, and this is a problem for future Bailey. Oh shite, let's see. I might be able to do it for smaller items like this. No, I can't. Let's forget about it for now. We'll approach this again on another stream. So there's the first item. And then I keep them behind me because we pull them back up when we go to the stutters, listing process. Yeah, we'll do the next one. So next one is one that I was flexing on the Instagrams today. It's a plushie. Some of these guys I do quite good with. Considering the Black Friday sale, I'm hoping that I can hit well with it. So this guy's like a plushie by the company called Makeship. He's taller than the other ones that I've worked with, it seems. He is from a video game series, though. He's from a Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, so that's the one where they do like the one knight versus 1,000 whatevers, and I think this is the mammoth that everyone spawns to fight orcs or whatever they uploaded in as their skin. So I think it will do okay. It's got a cute little tail. Might be hard to document with this studio setup that we got, but with the Black Friday, I would say that community savvy to what this is will be looking for sales of this nature, so maybe it will work. Would be nice. He doesn't need the red frame. I spent all that time talking about the red frame, and he doesn't need it. We're going to get these guys out of here. That's my remote for the LEDs. I can change the mood lighting. All right. Camera. So this one will be a bit tough. I'm gonna try to keep it in the black, but you know how I was talking about the effort with the camera stuff? It's kind of like the quality that I'm putting in on eBay is already higher than some of my compatriots. So it's like I'm okay if a little of the jankiness may be showing. This is a toughie. I'm gonna fix that corner, and sorry, bumped the microphone. I'm going to go for the camera for the aperture, so we step back, and then I zoom in on the object, and then it doesn't look necessarily as massive in frame, but this head-on posture looks atrocious. So right idea, but that looked terrible. There we go. This is it. Got it. Locked in. You can see the logo for the game on this guy right here. So it's a fun company. I get my hands on them through some of the people who send on collectibles. It's fun. I've been doing this long enough. I'm starting to have friends who hit me up with stuff. So I'm getting a full, like, American pickers mode, you know, where it's like, oh, I gotta find, bro. It's kind of nice. Fun change. It makes me confident that I'll be able to keep the business flowing, right? Because it's so much more than just being able to do all of this that I'm doing now. You have to keep continuously finding this. So I am making sure this is heavily in mind as I proceed. But if there's one thing I'm sure of, capitalism isn't my favorite thing, and there's always going to be more consumer waste. And as long as I've got a keen eye, I'll make a few bucks off of it. It's kind of sad that that's what I had to turn to, but I apply more of a creative and journalism lens to it all, and it brings me a lot of joy. It feels like storytelling, like everything. I've always loved the why of stuff. So it intrigues me to be able to figure out the details of where items are from, why they were made, what their use was, who's even interested in them still. After all, my formal education is in public relations, hence why I can babble so much, and it created like an inherent interest in why people are interested in stuff, for lack of a better term. Oh, I can't focus on him. I think he's too close to me. I can't tell. There we go. I'm doing the close-up shots. That's why you're seeing them in questionable positions. And then I gotta take a picture. So the tags here, you can see that it's like only so many made. So these guys do okay because there's always someone trying to step in there, you know? What's up, everybody? Again, first time doing this format again. I rocked it on a different platform. So if you're just tuning in, I apologize for like the lack of chatbots and stuff right now. I'm just getting this concept going for the first time, which I would say is excellent. I've been having a fine time with it. I got to figure out how to present the scale of this guy. He's quite big. Let me double check my photos. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, he's good enough. He's good enough. I took the photos right so he doesn't look all blown out and wild. Alright. So we've gone camera gear plush. We're gonna bang out the DVDs because the DVDs are like the easiest to do one by one. I stand corrected, Blu-rays. I gotta pick them up. They're a little too far for me to wiggle. Oh, all right. Bendy boy. So we got some classics here. Again, I showed 2 of these on my Instagram and soon to be my TikTok as well. But I have a few classics. The trick to selling the DVDs on the eBay is having like a modicum of movie knowledge, a YouTube watcher's worth of movie knowledge, I would say, because I'm by no means a cinemaphile. But if you've grown up on the YouTubes and you've just gotten lost in holes of people like doing video essays on movies, you'll stumble across someone doing talking about this stuff, right? So I'm like a bootleg movie buff. I would say I'm a tertiary movie buff, but that's why I make sure I distinguish whenever I'm giving my opinion. It's just a fun opinion, and I'm not. Even though I do the videography work and all that, I didn't go to cinematography school, so I am deafeningly lacking in the appropriate terminology to respect the craft behind it. However, I understand the logistics and patterns that produces it. But big language. What I'm trying to say is that if you know a little bit, right? Gattaca's a classic sci-fi. It doesn't necessarily have a giant following still, but because it's a cult classic and it's a sealed copy, someone will buy it to have it in their mint collection. And the same thing applies to American History X, which also may have some boosted analytics for some sus reasons, right? So all that big sociological language I used before is kind of like, are there small groups of people still interested in it? And then would those small groups of people have the conscious thought to want to buy it to add it to their collection? Scanner Darkly, if I'm correct, has Alex Jones in it. Isn't that lovely? I think it was one of the only movies he's been in, if I'm correct. I think they animated him in like a car in Miami or something. This is like Keanu too, if I'm correct. I can't remember, honestly. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's OG, post Neo Keanu. But especially with the sealed DVDs, that's why I show them all in one batch to document them for the store. It's like pop, pop, pop. It's like 1, 2, 3. So it's the first time doing it in this setup, so I am more cluttered than I would like. I thought I could make it more multi-use with this photo studio part, but it seems I've got no space to put the items as I'm chit-chatting. So just in case you want a close look. Right? And it always feels like a big win when you get like a Gattaca here. And it's got like the $10 sticker. Let's see what store that's from. Oh, it doesn't say. So this Gattaca copy is 2008 Blu-ray. This copy of American History X is 2009. That's actually very good to hear. Again, residual SEO. People be looking them up just because they like the movie. And that residual SEO makes it a good eBay product, because even if it's not being purchased right away, you want more eyeballs on your products on a more timely basis. After all, it runs on a similar algorithm to a social media platform. So the trick is all about beating it. I'll give you guys a better perspective too. There you go. See, and then, so this is another one where I come in with my aperture on my camera here. I pull back a bit more. You can see me right here. physically instead of inside, so that the DVD doesn't look like it's a giant movie poster thing, you know? I have it on such an extreme angle to avoid the sheen. And it kind of looks like artsy, because again, same thing, all the eBay listings are all just like flat top-down shots. So this way it looks slightly unique. I've got your webcam in my photo though. There we go. So then, if it's sealed, I just take a photo of the front. I take a photo of the back. And then I take a photo of the details on the bottom of the back. And then I take a photo of the seal. Which I think is all very reasonable. Because it's another one of those things, if you're like selling it, you're selling it to a person who knows what it is and knows what they want. So you're just kind of like providing that information more so. So how I was able to get the year, that's how you can like validate that that's what's good. And yeah, I know I'm doing this, and yeah, no, I got no followers, but I'm making sure the concept works, and then we push them. The machine's already started. Now I just need to decide which buttons to click. The machine started. I gotta build a bit more foundation, honestly, but ideally. Almost got this. Sorry, took some focus. Like, trying to show that plastic is plastic, not an easy photograph to take. But so one done, right? Now we got the Gattaca is the next one here. So same thing, put it on the angle. I prefer to just leave the stickers on rather than take the risk that I could be ripping the seal, bro, because it's too easy to tell when you've re-shrink wrapped it, and too much time for me. So I'd rather be like, oh, here, honestly, here's the weird old sticker that was on it, you know? Same thing, all the photos look the same on eBay, right? So it's like, maybe it stands out a little bit. I keep getting y'all's lens in the photo. I'm like dipping and dodging. There we go, same thing. And just fire it in. Take a photo of the back. Take a photo of the base. Then take a photo of the plastic. You'll see the different steps with the open one afterwards. And again, what you see me doing after this is I go on to actually eBay and look up the prices so we can like sit there together and gawk at how much people are willing to pay for Blu-rays still. Done. See what I mean? Much smoother, much quicker. The Scanner Darkly is our last one. Just making sure it's in there. So you'll see the short difference is rather than take the plastic, I like to show that the DVD doesn't look bootleg either. Right? I don't know. It's kind of just like out of good faith. Obviously I would hope they believe me, but sometimes it's like the ones that aren't sealed, they fall easier than ones that are. It doesn't make sense. But also, again, first time tuning in, what we do afterwards, I document these items. I've got an eBay store. We go on, we look up the pricing, and I walk you through the process of how I do the hustle. I also have some product I have to prepare for my in-person stall in Toronto afterwards. So we'll be hanging out, and I have to go through some like vintage buttons and pin backs Once we're at that point, though, I'm probably eating lunch. I'm being a stereotypical streamer and eating as I work. Ah, this looks weird. I don't like it. There we go. The main key for me is, like, I'm not trying to make it look like the most pristine item on the internets. I just want it to, like, not look crap. Like, look like I put in a little bit more than just base effort, you know? So then we take the bottom shot, and then the difference, instead of doing the seal, I take the DVD out and show that it's not crap. Usually, this is where the handy dandy red stand, the iconic red stand, comes into play. Look at how quick that is. Look at how artsy that looks, and it took me, what, 2 seconds? Just same thing to show that it's not mangled. Done. So we take this bad boy, snap her in, and that's our DVDs for the day. That's why I like the DVDs. It takes me 2 seconds, man. Cool. Last 3 ones. Got a fun one. I got a Ferrari. I got a rooster in my Rari. Sorry, I got a Rari. This is official Hot Wheels from the 90s, I think. Should say right there on where it's focused, but I can't see it well. I don't mind it. It kind of looks cool, but it's nothing special. You know? But as long as Hot Wheels is over like $10, I'll put it in the store. If it's under that, then I'm gonna end up putting a lot of toys like this in the physical storefront and just like have it as $2, whatever. Like pick it up for your kid, pick it up for fun type deal. This is where you see the red dealio come in handy because I stand little miniatures like this on it. Helps me get that cool show car angle. Okay. Backing up. Oh, that jazz. This is not shit. There we go. I got the color balance too. I was really worried. It would look odd because of the red on red. I might have to zoom in on it on eBay, but ooh, ugly, not good. Okay, color balance is good from here. All right, then front of this I just do a 360. For 360 the whip. Oh my god, the color balance is blown up. Okay, no, we're getting rid of the red chair. It's not working. These are gonna look trash. That means you guys get a better view too, though. Okay, easier, much easier. And then, you know, I was talking about not going close. This is where we do the opposite. Now, I should be able to get in nice and tight with it. Yep. And that's the move. I am actually a freelance professional car photographer as well. Funny enough, IRL, to make that money. So this is very familiar to me. I already have a good grasp on how to photograph a vehicle. it's like self-explanatory what I'm doing here, so I'm not bothering. Hold the top, bro. Just stay. Just stay. Alright. Bruh. Red stand. Oh, now it bounces. Fuck out of here. Bruh. This is hurting my soul. There we go. I did it. I did it. Okay, it worked. That wasn't a fun one to do, I tell you what. I think you saw me struggling real bad there. I'll do one more front-on one just to be sure, but I'm pretty sure the vehicle's captured. Okay, done. We're done with the whip. Okay, and we got another puppet. We got a plushie, actually, from another streamer, Dawk. D-A-W-K. I don't know this. I'm aware, but I'm like medium savvy to the trending streamers. You know, I know all the top tier brackets, but I know there's a lot of people at this guy's level who are very big, but I'm just not aware of. So that's an extremely no disrespect statement to be making. It looks cute. And then something like this one is made by a genuine creator who's got a good fan base. There's usually good SEO generated from having this plush in the store, because a lot of people will like look up their stuff online generally, and since eBay also has good SEO behind my products, the more I post to my page, then ideally these things get put in front of the eyeballs of people who are seeking more merchandise or whatever it may be. After this, I got one more item. I'm gonna make a coffee, and then we'll end up switching over to our primary screen where I list the products. Excuse the stutters. I'm just literally recalling all of the blanket statements I used to have previously. I'll also be posting these VODs to YouTube, and soon I'll have the chat bots on next stream, because evidently I shouldn't continue doing this without the chat bots. There we go. This is gonna look a little cruel. You can follow me on Instagram where I show some of these items. I do little posts like before these streams, and I think I'll do stuff for like off-screen content. On top of that, like this, I want to be a weekly thing. I don't want to promise any days just now because I'm still setting up that physical stall, but I want to be doing this at least once a week. Probably twice a week once I have more items filled into the stall, because then I will be prioritizing filling up my eBay store much quicker. So almost anything you'll see me do on the stream, you'll be able to catch on my eBay listings. And otherwise, you can DM me and I got you. Okay, we got butt photo. Let's leave one leg down so it doesn't look as bad. Okay. Then another sitting down, and we're out of here. We're done with Dawk Puppet. I think was he a Minecrafter? I can't remember. It feels familiar. It feels like I remember, but who knows? So I'm happy I'm still putting in the effort as if there was a bunch of chatters here. It's 110% good practice. It makes me feel insane though, I won't lie. But I mean, I already have an eclectic brain, so I just kind of bounce around on the ideas a bit more avidly. I'm just hoping that people trickle in over time. And I even have this genius idea of trying to maybe have these streams playing in my physical stall. But baby steps, bro, baby steps. I think first I'll start with some of my like YouTube content where I converted like lost media tapes. I've got some more down here. That's definitely what I'm going to be on doing a bit more. So I'm excited to also share this. I have a whole kit for this camera. My roommate provided me a camera to try to sell. It was a sentimental one, so it's tough. But it's one that a lot of people had, so there's still some demand for it. It is called a Nikon D3000, if I'm correct. You usually find it on the bottom here. Yeah. So these are when Nikon was top dog, bro. You couldn't get better than a Nikon. And then Canon came along and took all the newbies. All the newbies covered Canon. And then Sony invented the digital mirrorless and just changed how the whole frickin' market worked. So now some people do use Nikons. They're not like considered bad, but a lot of people who work in any sort of digital media just don't even really bother with them. And I'll be honest, I didn't really like them that much. They felt a little uncomfortable to me. I worked on Canons, and then after I started using more professional Sonys and different types of cameras, I definitely noticed how the Canons felt cheap, but their systems were pretty coherent. But at the same time, I get how you could say dumbed down. What I didn't like about the Nikon is I understand the tradition of having like some of the isolated functions for professional photographers, but it's not very intuitive of where these switches or buttons will be on a model like this D3000. So although it's probably way better for the top tier professional, I find it a little barrier to entry. But I mean, I'm biased. My Fujifilm camera is like crazy here, bro. Like it's got like 3 switches, so it's a much different layout, you know, like compare the back end of that to like the back end of this. You got two very different things, you know. So it's be what it be. Now onto the documenting. Fortunately, we have a full package, so this should mean that it sells for a pretty decent price. So we'll see. Just seeing how long I've been on. So, yeah, I think the setup will work. The strap's probably going to disappear. I'm going to get light bouncing too. So we're going to have to go like this probably. And again, why the red stand is good, because it's like quite obvious that this is not part of the item that I'm hustling, you know? Do you know? Okay, we got it. This is the angle. Done. Ooh, these are working. Oh, sorry, I just hit y'all. My bad. I gotta make sure I look up the Bluetooth for this record. If I don't do it at the end of the stream, I gotta make sure I do it after, because I'm so stoked for this opportunity. I guess we do top down, so that it's not all busted. And I guess people worry about the LCD screen. Oh, yes, and I did forget about one important one. Oh, plug it in. So, when you're selling a camera, people also like to know about how many shots has it taken. I think they call it how many actuation. Oh my god, my speech impediment. How many actuations it has had. There we go. Locked it in. So that's what I'm going to try to look up. I know this camera did have some repairs on it though, so it's quite likely that nothing will happen. Set up. Retouch, setup. Setup. I guess I could show you guys this part even. I mean, I'm thinking I'm going to check firmware version, but that doesn't sound correct either. It's definitely not in the maybe it's in the shooting menu. Maybe there's like shooting info. No. No. Okay, I guess I might have to give up on this. Alright. So be it. Alright, so since we've got the whole package for this item, that's the next step. I gotta take this battery out, I put its charger there. It's so weird how in old cameras, like, all the newer ones, the batteries are spring-loaded. So kind of when you undo it, it ejects like a clip. But then these like old ones, they're just like loosely hanging in there, and it's just like feels so janky to have to shake out the camera battery. Hard one to document to show all the items. Killing it. Get back there. And then we, where's the bag? Where's the bag? Where did we put the bag? Where'd Baby put the bag? It's under me. It's under me. We got it. We got it. It's under control. Don't worry. Don't worry. Still, if you're watching this VOD later, you catch this on YouTube, I appreciate you. Appreciate you big time. This looks massive for you guys, but I think it... I made it work. I think we're cooking. Yeah, it works. It works. We good. We good. Okay. Done. Alright, we're out of here, folks. So, stuff the camera back in its bag nice and gently. Hey, if you're watching on any platforms, don't be afraid. Hit that follow button. Share this with someone. The idea is unique. You know you want to. So we slap this bad boy in. We're gonna have to weigh all of this after too, probably. So that goes behind me. And then I get out my handy tape measure that should be thrown in my backpack, but I'll do some behind the scenes work in a moment. I'll switch over to my main scene. I'm gonna stand up here for a second. Ooh-wee. What's good, folks? What's good? Fun time, fun time. Happy we got the stuff working out. Next, I got the buttons. I mean, I'll throw some of them in here. This is like the whole ordeal we got next. The magical chest. I'll probably turn the lights on in this room, and then we'll do a lot of the sorting outside of it. Because that's a lot. That's a lot. But we'll see. I guess you're the ones that are going to notice afterwards. I also control the screen down here. As I said, my store title is Grandma's Dead Stock. You see the logo spinning down there, and this is my fancy smancy storefront. I'm really tempted to see if I have more viewers on some of my products because I am running a 15% off Black Friday sale. So get on there. Get on there. Oh, I should have clickbaited Black Fridays. I'll do that for the YouTube pod. Grandma's Black. Oh my God. Grandma's Black Friday sale. I almost said Grandma's Back. Grandma's Back Friday sale. That don't make any sense though. Alright, so what we do after this, I will begin offloading my images so that you don't have to wait on me for that long. I'm going to get a coffee and a Fig Newton bar because I need some carbohydrates. And then we are going to set up the listings for these products. After we get through about halfway of that, so what I have to do together and what we do is I throw in all the photos first. We write down all the descriptions after, and then I fill in all the shipping weights and dimensions and all the additionals. Doing it in these batch orders helps make it more efficient. It can be a little bit more boring for you guys, but you know, that's why hopefully I'll have the record and the new music component going on so that I can jam out as well. But otherwise, after that, we got to go through this magical box of buttons. So typically when I do the eBay streams, I'm going to want to be doing like closer to 20 items probably, so it helps take out more work for the week. Since this is the first go, I wanted to make sure all the systems are fine, it all seems within reach. I've already only been on for an hour, and that's with my testing time. I had the stream running way longer than I wanted it to at the start. So I think I can still effectively do 20 to 30 in a stream, and then that's definitely worth my time financially. And if I double on the work for the physical stall, then blah blah. So if you want to like stay in touch with how I do things, this is like the best way. Just tune into the streams on a consistent basis. Compared to like my car photography too, these are like minimal amount of photos. It's so much easier, bro. So sometimes I leave my car photo shoots with like almost 1,000 photos that I gotta go back into. Hi all. Coffee break shortly. Then we put it on kick, I think, and there's a relay. Bay on eBay, coffee break shortly. And that kind of looks okay for you guys. I might want to, maybe I zoom this in. I kind of like it like that, though. I think that's big enough. Whatever, because you guys are already looking at the chat on the side. This is for post aesthetics. So I'm like medium well sorted for my files. It could be much better, but it's enough that it's not utter chaos back here. So we go, no, 23. Photos pasted, because I can't offload the photos straight from like the camera to eBay, which is fair. It's probably a good security choice, so it doesn't upset me, but I really do need to figure out what to do about the multi-stream chat. I know there's a Restream bot, but then the Restream bot can't post and kick anyways. And then like the kick bot, so I think I would have to have like a kick bot and then have the kick bot say specific things that are not duplicates of the Restream bot, because then otherwise that's what's going to get me the spam flags, which I've learned the hard way through my other channels. Yeah, so we got a mystery box here. Again, if you ever want to look it up, I use a Fujifilm X-A7. Very handy. It's done its work. I've taken at least 10,000 photos with this thing. It sold me on Fujifilm, to say the least. I've been impressed, and I kind of screwed myself. I made a really good camera choice, and it did mess me up a little bit, because now it's like the next one up, that it would be like a $3,000 one, and this one has as good a computer inside of it as other ones. But I told this story on the internet far too many times. All right, so 5-minute break, coffee break. Okay, 5 minutes. I'm just making some coffee, having some water, and getting a snack, and then we're getting right to the listing. All right, BRB. Alright, I'm alive again. How we doing? Again, thankful for anyone just tuning in. If you've been watching this series when I used to do it over on Marching into Madness, which you can find on Twitch, I appreciate you. No, I'm definitely not the most consistent human, so hopefully you can see now that it's go time, because all those little steps before, I was preparing all the tools, practicing. I wanted to make sure this concept would work. This was something that I definitely wanted to lean on and push forward with, so I am glad I have the opportunity to now. And even if you're watching this VOD on YouTube in the future, same goes to you. Shout out. Thank you for being here. All right. So, after this, I go to the eBay listings. We've documented the items. Now we're going to pop over and I'll talk you through the back-end stuff, or just babble while I do it. Then we look up the items, and I show you how I create the titles and price them out. Excuse me, I just crushed a Fig Newton, and my body is not happy about how quickly I did that. I've got a cheese bagel calling my name for after it. It's been tripping me out. I really want to just stop and make cheese bagel. Oh, that's some quality caffeine, bro. So, this is also why I have standing desks, because otherwise I could not do this job and keep my patience on. So I've got you, this window should be not exposing anything, and it isn't, which is great. So we're over here. So I have this create multiple listings window. This is the most boring part, but this is where I can bulk edit stuff. So I go in here, I double check that the base template is prepared so that I can duplicate all of the items that I'm ultimately going to put in the store that, as I said, I just documented. Right? So then you skip this, you skip this, skip the details. Condition doesn't matter because the condition changes per category that you put your eBay item into, right? So then, over time, oh my God, eBay's even trying to sell me on AI now, huh? How much do I have to pay for this, eBay? It just comes in. I don't like this. We're going to test this out on another time after non-stream time. So what I've done is I've just developed, I have this more detailed one. Drop this bad boy in here, and it just covers all the bases. If I want to add anything, it can. The main thing is just like all sales final, shipping from Canada. I only use tracked packages, disclaimers, all that. I do my best. I'm a small business, so then even if someone gets disgruntled, they end up looking back and they're like, okay, well, at least it was all honest, you know? Like, I can hopefully get some good faith out of it. But I mean, you know how humans work, so I don't know if that will be a reality. We got regular parcel. I'm in Canada, evidently. Canada Post has been nothing but good to me, so no complaints there. Fuck UPS, though. I say that on record. Expedited parcel, tracked packet, USA, tracked packet, non-USA, and I try to offer express to both as well. So we go to expedited parcel. And express post non-US. So some of my older items, I do need to go through and update those settings. And then I usually put a blanket 3%. It's wild. eBay tries to like trick you here because they're like, oh, you need to it's a niche category, so give us 10% of your item. And it's like, nope. I'll participate in your algorithm game. I'll give you a small percentage, but way too much money. So this one is then we check. I've got how many items? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, we'll put you on the main screen again here because this is the boring part. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 items for us today. So then I duplicate my eBay screen here. I take this, bulk edit, copy listing 7 times. Excuse my snoods. Again, first time tuning in, don't be afraid to give a follow. I'm doing this more consistently now, so I would love to say hi to a few more people. I used to be doing this on a different channel, and time to build it up under my own umbrella, and then that way they can hopefully feed into each other, so you can join me here during my work day, and then if I go have fun with the homies playing some content at night, bingo bango. But so we have, what I like to do next is I do the photos and then I match up the categories. I am also pep talking myself, I will humbly admit this. I haven't done the stream format in a minute. I've just been eclectically doing it while I'm alone at home. So we go to November 23rd. This is the part you can't see. That's why it's probably better that I'm on this screen. Camera do be looking pretty good though. It worked out. And I just got to be patient. I've made the mistake if I go through to this next window and I get screwed over. Here, I'll bring you back over to eBay. And we'll zoom in for you even. This is fine for me too, so you can see the photos that I took, right? So you see what I mean? It's just slightly different. So these were the photos I was taking just prior. So it still looks like a professional shot, but it's not such a big deal. And then what I usually like, I like it to cycle through. So then you get people clicking through to the end and they feel satisfied, almost as if they like picked the camera up and turned it around themselves. So it goes like, so you go bop, 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 bop. Done, right? The eBay editor has been giving me troubles, but we're gonna try Sometimes I don't mind cropping these because I find that it helps it feel like a macro shot. Let's see if this loads. Okay, maybe I was too impatient with it the last few times. So then after this, we've got our makeshift elephant boy from Tabs. So we load this bad boy up in there. I balance him out, and I want to throw one more of his just stationary one again. First shot at the end of the cycle, like I do with everything else. Done. So, yeah, these are a little too red. This guy was struggling a bit with the space and the light tones, but I think they're good quality enough that I'm happy with it. It also, considering it's one of these, it makes it feel like it's a personal seller, and I think a lot of people feel more comfortable buying from that. But so next one, we're on to the DVDs. So this one is the American History X copy I had, sealed, Blu-ray, so sorry, not DVD. We're sliding on to Gattaca next, which photographed very efficiently. Just a quick Gattaca, you just drop it in like that, bam. Listen to them pianos, bro, come on. The echo of the music is always a trip when I check out my audio. So we just ran through the films. After the films, we did the car, which didn't work, so we have to go down here. This puppet's a little terrifying, honestly. I can see how it's cute to someone, but the smile kind of creeps me out. I feel like it's possessed. I feel like it's going to jump me. Not just attack, jump me. Then here we go. We're on the camera last. This one was a little tougher to photograph because of how dark it was. Should be slapping this up in a second. You see what I mean? They've got like a nice gentle aesthetic to them, you know? Feels professional, but still feels like cozy and at home. I'm gonna have to zoom this window back out after for y'all, though. Sorry, I have to say that. Camera lens. Oh, it is video game merchandise. DVDs are the easiest. There's, for some reason, no subcategories on DVDs. You think there would be, too. I think people would want that. It's funny that it's stuck on shavers of all things. Toy Hot Wheels. Contemporary. Puppet, plush. This is just like a mix and match game. This is the easiest part of it, just categorizing them. Camera bundles. So let's go into camera and photos and see if there's a bundle that we might want to do. Mixed lot. Or is there a Nikon? Let's just make sure there's not like a Nikon one. No, let's keep it in mixed lots then. Mixed lots is fine. This is like the only window you're like forced click through on that menu screen. Like you can't not select a category or go back. You have to select a category or else this whole thing gets user locked, which is wild to me. But so this Makinon lens, again, as I was saying, doesn't have a lot of value to it, but that's what we want to look up. So you see this info at the top. So you want to, we end up going in here, and you go on Makinon. f3.5 to 4.5. And then, oh, nope. I got it wrong, but that's okay. That's just still info that we need. So it's 1-3.5 to 4.5 and 28 to 80 millimeter. Bingo. It's working. It's working, folks. So I think this is what we're looking at. $17. So it's a Minolta mount. So this is the magic button we always want to look at. Completed items. I'll zoom you back and we'll reset a bit here for you. So one of these sold for $10. Lens cap. As is. So you know what we're probably going to do? We're probably going to sell it for parts as well, which is fine. We just won't let it sit around too long. And we're going to practically steal this guy's title, but we're going to change it up a little bit. So we're going to leave this open for later. Right now, we are going to take this so they can do the titles after. So the advantage of my history of being a SEO copywriter is I'm fairly skilled at finding what I need to find and then copying your homework in a way that doesn't get me in trouble. I do. I mean, I'm on here admitting it. So I take large inspiration from other people's titles. Tabs makeshift plush. If this one sold recently, we're cooking. So this is where we get to go to Google. Because this is what we have. How much do people pay? That should mean it's rare, but I don't want to price it like insanely high. So I'm going to take a quick look just to see if it comes up anywhere else. Oh, I'm logged into Twitter. I'm not supposed to be logged in. Didn't know this. I'm going on the Tabs website. Oh, this is too slow for an official website, buddy. Go clean up your WordPress. Your plugins are lagging. So I kind of got to guesstimate. I'm surprised that there's no history of it. Tabs Mammoth Plush. Maybe we'll try just Mammoth or Mammoth Plush. This is surprising to me. This could be a good thing for me, but it is very surprising. Strange, honestly. Okay. Oh, that's cute. Look how much this one's a knockoff too, I think. China, right? I think someone's selling them from the factory. But this Daco, okay. We have something similar there, so. And there's no history of them. Let's double check. So this is the other special tool that I get in the back end. No results. So we're gonna cheese it. We're gonna set it at $4.99. It's probably way too much. But so let's take this title. So Mammoth Jumbo Plush Tabs Landfall. Make ship 1 of 4 16. So if you see the other makeshift plushes that I have in my store, right? They're all priced fairly high and way more when there's less of them, right? So then if there's only 416 of these, right? I'll probably go around that price. $209.49, I think. So I would say it's about as popular as the Wizard of Barge. I think that's more than fair to say. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do this. So $209.99. Oh, and then I can double check. Yeah, that's good enough. The Makinon lens. We'll get back to it. Let's keep on our search first. So then we gotta go 2009. So usually this one, American History X Blu-ray 2009. And we hit our magic button. Completed items. And here you go. So it's selling. Is this one sealed? Because mine's sealed. His looks bootleg sealed. Someone bought that. Then I can sell mine for like $14. $12. Okay, see? A lot of purchases of it though, and often. Let's make it $20. Let's not get too much dip on our chip, you know what I mean? I think $20 is more than fair. And then this is where I told you we get inspired by titles. We're going to drop in here. The other use I found is sometimes the descriptions for items are like mega detailed, and I get so sick of like looking up like what year, what studio, when this guy's got all this studio filled out for me. You know, I'm just making things work here. Sealed. Let's dip on the chip a little bit. We're gonna make it $24.99 because this shit's gonna get views. Gattaca. If this one was 2009, Gattaca was 2008. Oh, these are good. I like this track. How do you like? It's like elevator music, but better. You know what I mean? What? No one wants to buy Gattaca? How much are Gattaca DVDs going for? Oh, not a bad amount of money, pal. And sealed? $20 with a discount? I think we might be able to get in here for a fun time. Steelbook. Oh, Wine Mom would like this. I didn't even know it was an Ethan Hawke movie. Whoops, I guess that's a fact I should know. That's crazy, though. Why isn't there more stuff here? So I have more of an original Blu-ray version. It's 4K Ultra HD. Let's try to get greedy. Let's make it like $39.99. So this is, I still like my traditional, I go like this. It's like the OG eBay method of listing products. But I think it's most effective. I think your eyes read it much better through text. And then I separate the actors' names sometimes, just like that. I think I saw that Uma Thurman. Sealed. Oh, I'm missing one space and I got it. Look at this. Bop. Scanner Darkly probably still has some value, but there's no way it's going for a lot, so. Scanner Darkly DVD. Of course the sealed copy would. That's a nice, way better cover. Way better cover design. Ooh, a little bit of an LA. Aren't they all widescreen? So why is this one selling less than that? But so it's one that people still want but don't always buy? Weird. November though. So it looks like it's still worth listing, but why wouldn't someone buy the dollar one? Let's just copy this one. This looks like the most trustworthy one. I'll go in here. And it's a DVD 2006. And again, we're doing the thing. I like it in my format, so. Just so, again, it looks congruent over all of my ads, right? I'm gonna put it at $9.99. I'll let someone give me an offer, but then the $10 are worth my time, and it is still a rare one. So I'm trying to give it a little bit of respect rather than just throw away the Scanner Darkly. It wouldn't be bad to put in my physical stall either, though. And this Hot Wheels should be 1997 Lambo Countach Hot Wheels. I didn't think it was that far down. My bad. 1997 Countach Hot Wheels. Red. Was he 7? Am I getting that right? Yeah. Itchy nose. Okay. So same as this white one. What number is it? Number 12 red. 12 red. 12 red. Yeah, if only, bro. If only that was the one we had. Golly. So we do have a slightly rare one, but I'm just not going to go too crazy about it. Let me see if I can pull up his number. I just don't want to miss too big of a win if it's there. Damn. I just picked up my magnifying glass the other day. Knew I needed to. I called it. Hot Wheels, 1997, Countach, Alex Axel. Weird, though. Let's take off the completed item and see if anything pops up. No, it seems like I'm kind of screwed here, eh? Patience. There we go, folks. We got it. This is what we need, kid. Okay, and we'll do $9.99. So we go Hot Wheels. Red. It's some sort of racer series flag. Done. So then we've got a Daco puppet from Makeship. We got 2 blue eyes. This is not a red eyes one. I only saw the red eyes one earlier. This is handy for that listing after. And then we go Daco puppet. Oh, that's how I keep seeing. That's why I keep calling it a poopit. So maybe I have a rarer one. Oh, I did. See, because of that, because I kept seeing the poopit. It fucked me up. It's kind of funny, actually. Daco. Alright, I've got a more celebratory one that's not as upset. Okay, hold on. What's the difference between these two? What? Oh, voice box edition, but it's broken. Okay. Where's the title? There we go. Showtime Daco. $45. Oh, he's a Five Nights at Freddy's creator. That was a loud horn. That spooked me, bro. You're going to the next song. I am not happy about that. That was not cool. That was... that one's creepy. So what year? 2021? So we're going to steal this guy's description as needed because I barely know who this human is. Let me go here. We go Showtime Daco Plus. Voice Box Edition. How many? 1,998. So broken voice box, I have to be patient with that. He is a unique one. So let's be gentle. There does seem to be turnover in this market, so we're going to make it 120. We're not going to get greedy. We're getting the stream back on. Sorry, I had to double check my messages. I've been doing this a while. Alright, everybody, again, if you're watching, thank you for tuning in. If you're catching this VOD later, appreciate you just as much. This last one I looked up yesterday. I need to find this, but it's the... It should be the same lens as me, but let's make sure. So just take this guy's little ditty. It's November 23rd, 2006. So we gotta double check the lens on this just to make sure I'm not messing anything up. $18 to $55, that should be what I've set up right there, is it? Yeah, this is it. Bingo. Okay, so we're gonna rock this right away here. So a fresh pack, US, approximately 7. So I think with the complete pack, it doesn't seem. Let's take the completed things off to see how many are listed as a complete pack. 7. I'm gonna come in at 219. I'm gonna come in at 219. Maybe 224. There we go. We'll add a little bit. I have a bit more confidence, you know. Let's make sure these are set up nice. Yeah, they are. I'm happy with that. I don't feel like the megapixel is reasonable, especially when it's old. Okay, so again, most particularly boring part is kind of done. We've done the titles. Now listed how much I wanted the Mackinac one. I was gonna say was a big L, so I'm gonna put it at $8.99. And if it sells during the Black Friday sale, so be it. As you can see, like for a day's work, we're on here for like 2-3 hours, and that's a decent amount of like hourly exchange on this, right? The thing is, I don't get money right away. Instead, through this business, I'm kind of like making future money, which is a weird thing to work in, but kind of ties into more patience with my lifestyle overall. So this is the part I utterly hate doing, but we will get it done. So we're going to do Mackinac as is, untested. And we're going to slap this at the front, I think. Space there. As is untested, $8.99. Bam. This is where, if I need to double check, we go. I don't know how weird it will look for you guys if I shrink this. I want to make sure it doesn't jank up the stream. It might a little bit, so. Oh, it's not all that bad. Good, I can pull this part off quite easily then. Because then I go here. Then I drag the Mackinac over here for me. And what you can't see is I've just split the screen up so that I can see all the descriptors that I need. Maximum aperture. f/4.5. f/4.5. Why doesn't it just say it? What are you doing? Canon FD. Dun, dun. What's good enough for me? Used. Please inspect images carefully. I do not have a film lens of this era, hence pricing. Bam. As I said, this is the most boring part. It's kind of fun because you get to see the business back end, but ugh. So we're also going to be good here. Not miss a beat. Oh, wait, these items. So first, what am I getting lost in? I'm getting lost in the lens. Lens weighs way more than I thought, and it's a good thing I fucking weighed it. Excuse my language. It's 475 grams, so it's like I'm gonna make that like 500 with the whole package. 1816 by 3. I'll make this by like 5, and that should be good enough. I mean, like 1814. It'll be a tubey boy. 3% is fine. Local pickup. Done. Okay, so next item, as I said, here you go. Here's the most boring part. It's the finishing dash, but it's the most boring part. So we got the plush mammoth. And because it's brand new, there's nothing for it, which is just great, just lovely. Love it, love it, love it. Product details. Can I get your UPC number? Nope. Tabs. Totally. Plush doll. Added. Added. Sorry, this is also the most boring part. Mama. Mammoth. Don't clip that. Product line. China. Oh, listen to those frickin' things there, eh? One more tool. The much needed tape measure. So mammoth weighs 237, and he probably weighs a little bit more than that, so we'll give him 245 grams. I'm Canadian, I apologize that everything's in grams. The mammoth is just about 27 centimeters by 18. By 13, 27, 18, 13. Quite easy, there we go. 245, that's because I'm going to have to wrap that thing up pretty nicely. We don't have to add too much, so we'll make it like 260. Nope, 260. You're welcome. Again, everybody, don't be afraid to drop a follow. If this is the first time you've seen me, come check it out on a more consistent basis. That's not a whining voice. That's, I'm bored and losing my mind. I kind of need some food. I gotta look through the buttons after, too. Probably take another quick pause when we are done this. So then, I'll go American History X. I've just got everything to enter for the American History X one. That's the DVDs can be kind of draining that way, I can tell you that. Genre, subgenre. Genre, drama. Edition, Blu-ray. Type, movie, of course. Studio. 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 New line. Thank you. English. R. Director. 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 Nope. Blu-ray case. I think that's enough for me. That's a lot of settings. Let's see how much he weighs, because I've been a little off with this lately, so I want to see. I thought I knocked something over. Just saw my heart attack face. $70 grams, eh? So I will lower it just a touch. Okay, just 2. Listen to them smooth horns. I can't wait to get this record player working right behind me. This guy put barely anything either. I got gypped. I'm trying to make my life easier. Blu-ray, Deluxe, 2009, Ethan Hawke, UPC. That's what I need most importantly. Thank you. Paste. Gattaca. Sci-fi. Draw. Action. Where's the drama? Tech noir. I think. I don't think so. That's probably a bad call, but we did it. Type movie. Studio. I got it right here, so let's do it. Who made Gattaca? Who made Gattaca? Columbia. What? Weird. All right. Uma Thurman. You get in there, Uma. I'm also simulcasting for anyone watching this. It does show how new and how little of a following I have, because I've got it on 3 platforms, and ain't nobody talking, but I'm here with it. It's good babble practice for me anyways. I've got to be able to talk this whole damn time anyways. This is how the internet works. What are you rated? You got to be rated R. You got to be rated R. I'm going to assume you're rated R. So remember Gattaca having some spicy scenes. I think it'll do well because I didn't see a copy. It is a popular movie. Scanner Darkly, probably very mid. I really don't think people are going to want the Scanner Darkly all that much. I think, quite unfortunately, no one's really going to care about the Scanner Darkly. We got a Keanu OG. So if you're tuning in later in the stream for the first time, or we're rewatching this VOD and you want to think about joining in next time, First, I bring the batch of items I have from my eBay store to list that day, and then I document them with my camera. We hop on the eBays, and then we creep how much they actually cost and look up some of the goofy stuff about it together, and I show you how I list it. It's not always the most exciting, but I mean, I feel that everyone's got a little bit of a knack for finding knickknacks, you know, so if I can scratch that itch, if hashtag satisfying videos can make it, I feel like this can touch a couple souls in the appropriate way. Why do I have to say souls? It's kind of gross. UPC. The subgenre, it's like a sci-fi. It's a mystery, I think. Science. Geez, I guess. I think it's a drama. It's maybe an adventure. Widescreen. Back when that was a feature you listed on the box. Who was it produced by? Tell me, other ad. Warner. Actor Keanu. Language Anglais. Rated R. Features widescreen. Yeah. Director. I got it right here, so let's check. Because it was someone important. Oh, it's got RDJ in it. I gotta put that in. And then I was looking up director. And Woody Harrelson. What the hell? No wonder this is a cult classic. And Winona Ryder. And it's not in there, though. I suppose she's not. Whatever. Those three are already big enough. Where's the director, fam? Richard Linklater. We're going to do a slight detour stream. I'm distracted right now. I might need this tab. What else have you made? I know you made other famous things. He's the Boyhood guy. Director, Scanner Darkly. There we are. Bad News Bears. Oh, so he's been at it. This guy's he's working hard, bro. Putting in some fucking work. All right. Thank you, Richard. Maybe that's that's evidently how he had all the connections. Oh, very good. With the time, now we know more about Dick. Sorry, I had to. I couldn't help it. I'm not immature. You're immature. The Lamborghini Countach. I'm barely gonna have anything I can put on it, but whatever. This other one had nothing. We go back to the create multiple listings. We go Countach. We hit it over here. Oh. Red, Countach, Hot Wheels. Please say we have no UPC. Lambo. 164th. 97. Flag flyers. 97. Car. Oh, I think the vehicle make was 1998. Diecast. Cars. Red. Bam. Thailand. Used. Oh. So make this even smaller and cheaper, just so people don't get like ripped off by it. It's letter mail though, you know what I mean? I've still got to do 85 grams. Like, come on. So I'd be thinking I need some sort of like participation incentive for people during these streams. But consistency is a good start. The format's killing it. So the makeshift Daco, just in case, and I won't steal stuff because I don't know shit about Daco. Brand is makeshift. I'm surprised it doesn't have a category. It's got a fuck ton of them on there. Animal, non-animal, color, multicolor, character, family, Daco. Size small. Features? Is that a features? Retired. Should be washable too. Was talking. Voice box. China. Used. No more talks. Is the voice box model. But it no longer speaks, fam. So we gotta weigh this too. $121. So we'll make it a package as $135. That's not that far off. I'll do like 6 on the one side, and that's perfect size for it. I don't even need to measure it. All right, kids. All right. So those are all the items for the day. Flip it back to our main scene over here, where we're hanging out. As I outlined from the start of this, so that took 2 hours, took a little longer than I wanted, but first step in the process, I babbled a bit too much at the beginning. I was a little concerned about the features, but overall, man, I'm happy with how it went. I can get rid of these ones. I can snap this back open. And I can get the items listed in a second. Again, thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm putting this VOD on YouTube right after. I want to see how it functions. I'm going to make a really basic cover for it probably. But all in all, I want to get to these buttons after. I feel like I should do some sort of outro. So let me hit... This is the part, I'm going to take this guy out so that you guys can't see this. I'm going to submit all, I just don't want you to see the back end, so I'm submitting all the work that we just did. Let's chill this. I'm getting anxiety from the end of the song. So we're going to switch up the new album. We're going to pause it before I bash my fingers into the wall. Cap. So, summarizing the things that happened today, we just ran through all of the items that I documented at the beginning of the stream. We took the time to check out how much they're all worth. It's almost like $300 to $400 worth. So that's how I end up making this worth my time. The thing is, I don't get the immediate return. So part of it is I want to hang out with you guys and show the process and hopefully start some fun, open communication about the items that I got here. Otherwise, I appreciate you coming with me through this process. I do. Guess what I'm giggling at? Because it's a baby step in the last puzzle piece to my overall hustle. Now that I have a physical storefront, I've got a place that I can both meet people and expand my outreach in front of people who are like interested in vintage, in weird, quirky finds. Because that was the one issue I was having as a marketing PR guy. I had to figure out how to get my stuff in front of people that were already interested in it. So, whenever you're watching this, appreciate you. What I'm doing now, I'm submitting the items, and then I am going to take a break so I can refuel, and then we will go through some of the buttons together. Oh, yeah, one's not working, and I guarantee it's because I zoomed in on the one photo. I knew it. Oh, no, it's not. What? Items included. Oh, I skipped the whole camera. Oh, wow, look at what Bailey did. Bailey buggered it up a little bit. Did he give me a UPC with it? No, he didn't. For Nikon model. We're doing some quick fixes here. Lens, digital camera, battery, charger, camera bag. Done. Used. Definitely going to weigh a lot more. We're going to put it at 650 grams. And this will be much more. $18 by 23 by like 10, so oh, no. There we go. Done. Okay, and again, don't want to see the back end, so we take this out, side this up, submit all, submit. Fire. That's what we'd like to see, folks. We'll see how that runs up for us. Yeah, we might even be able to, oh yeah, see. Go back. Maybe it'll be top of search, best match. Time newly listed. Here we cycled in with the other stuff, eh? I know this front end is slower, but see, look at all the wacky DVDs we got. When I'm saying I'm looking for tapes that are like have an existing audience demand, but like are sort of cult classic-y, because you can't get them on streaming platforms. This is what I'm talking about. This type of red lights, BBC, these type of little films. And then hopefully, first time here, look at this spread. Look at the spread of products we got for you. You can tell which ones are from my new studio, which ones are from my old studio. It's cool and fun to see the differences. But I kind of created this signature green bottom thing, right? So at least you go through my whole page. There's congruency, right? But either way, folks, I've been having a great goddamn time. I'm about to get some of that jazz on, and hopefully it's not as anxiety-inducing as the last one. I am going to BRB in 10 minutes. I'm going to make a coffee, take a breather, and then if you see in these things over here to my Larry, we're going to go through some of the buttons, and I'm going to record that as maybe like a separate YouTube video. I'm going to try to figure that out. But thank you for tuning in.